Welcome to the Deep Dive.
Great to be here.
Today we're tackling something, well, pretty significant for anyone involved in English for specific purposes, or ESP.
That's right. We're talking about artificial intelligence, AI.
Exactly. It's changing so much, and we want to explore how it's opening up new ways to, personalize learning for ESP students.
And provide that instant feedback they often need.
Plus boosting engagement, which is always a goal, right?
Definitely. So we've looked at quite a bit of research on this, papers exploring AI and ESP from different angles.
And our mission for this deep dive is basically to give you, our listener, a balanced view.
Yeah, we want to cover the exciting stuff, the potential, but also the, let's say, the practical challenges and things to keep in mind.
Especially for you as EST teachers. We want this to be useful, offering insights from theory, but also from, well, practice, as seen in the research.
To think of it as a look at what the studies are saying about integrating AI into your ESP classroom.
Okay, let's unpack this then. The first big benefit that always seems to come up is personalized learning. How does AI actually do that?
Well, the research suggests AI tools can analyze a student's performance pretty granularly.
Like what specifically?
Things like their current grasp of the material, how fast they're progressing, even maybe their learning style preferences, though that's still developing.
Okay.
This lets the AI tailor the experience, so maybe focusing exercises on areas where a student is struggling.
Right.
We saw one study, for instance, on legal English. An AI tool looked at student essays about contract law, and it apparently identified recurring mistakes in specific legal terms with like 92% accuracy.
Wow, that's specific.
Exactly. That kind of detailed feedback lets instructors, or maybe the AI itself, target those exact weak spots. It's a level of detail that's frankly hard for a teacher to give every single student, especially in large classes.
That makes sense. It's much clearer than just saying tailored learning.
Oh.
Okay, linked to that, I guess, is real-time feedback. That sounds incredibly useful in ESP.
It really is. Accuracy is often paramount in specific purpose context, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So imagine platforms using AI that can instantly flag issues with grammar, maybe suggest better vocabulary choices, or even comment on pronunciation through speech recognition.
Instantly.
Pretty much instantly, yeah. This quick feedback loop means students can correct misunderstandings right away. Think back to that legal English example.
Getting immediate feedback on using a legal term correctly versus incorrectly.
Precisely. That could prevent serious miscommunications down the line in their actual career.
Okay, this is where I think it gets really interesting. It's not just the nuts and bolts of language, is it?
Yeah.
AI seems to be able to make learning more, well, fun, engaging.
Right. That's a big theme in the research, too, engagement. Tools like ChatGPT, for example, pop up frequently.
How so?
They can make certain tasks more interactive. Business English writing, for instance. Students might use it to simulate drafting emails, maybe reports, for different business scenarios and get immediate conversational feedback. It feels less like homework, maybe more dynamic.
I can see that.
And we also saw mentions of platforms like EAP Talk. The idea there is AI-driven conversations help improve speaking skills and, crucially, build learner confidence.
That confidence piece is huge. But it's not just about the students, right? Can AI actually help us, the educators?
Yes, definitely. The research points to support for teachers, too. Things like intelligent tutoring systems.
Okay, what are those exactly?
They're basically AI programs that guide students through material step by step. They adapt based on the student's answers, offering hints or more practice, kind of like a virtual one-on-one tutor.
Interesting.
And also natural language processing tools. These can help automate some tasks, like analyzing a batch of student essays to spot common error patterns.
Freeing up teacher time.
Exactly, freeing up educators to focus less on repetitive correction and more on, fostering critical thinking, facilitating deeper discussions, that kind of thing.
And connecting this all back to the core aim of ESP effective communication in specific fields, AI has a role there too.
A significant one, based on the sources. AI can help hone those really crucial communication skills.
Like what?
Interpersonal skills simulations, perhaps. Practicing presentations, refining professional writing. We mentioned speech recognition for pronunciation.
Right.
That's vital for clear communication in fields like law, medicine, international business, you name it.
So, yeah, the potential upsides seem pretty clear. But like with any powerful tool, there have to be downsides or challenges. What does the research highlight there?
A major one is definitely the risk of over-reliance.
Okay, explain that.
Well, there's a concern that if students lean too heavily on AI tools for generating text for constant correction, they might not fully develop their own independent writing
Or
skills.
critical thinking.
Exactly. If the AI always provides the answer or fixes the mistake, does the student really learn to problem solve or analyze critically on their own? It's a genuine worry.
That's a really valid point. We want tools to support learning, not become a crutch that hinders it. What else?
Data privacy and ethical considerations are also big ones.
Especially with student data.
Yes. Particularly noted in studies involving law students where confidentiality, simulated or real, is key. We need to be very careful about how student data is used and protected by these AI platforms.
Absolutely. And what about the elephant in the room, the idea that AI might replace teachers?
Ah, yes, that concern does surface in discussions, but interestingly, the research we looked at strongly pushes back against that.
Oh, how so?
It emphasizes that while AI can take over certain tasks, the core role of the teacher motivating students, providing nuanced feedback, understanding context, fostering critical discussion, the human element remains irreplaceable. AI is seen more as a tool for the teacher, not a replacement of the teacher.
That's a crucial distinction. So it's about augmenting, not replacing.
Precisely. Which leads to another challenge, or perhaps a necessity,
Hmm.
responsible
Right.
use. Meaning we need a critical approach. We need to address the potential for plagiarism students passing off AI work as their own.
Right.
We need to manage that over-reliance issue we discussed and be aware of potential biases baked into AI algorithms and ensure data security. It's not just plug and play.
It requires critical engagement from both educators and students.
Okay, so let's maybe bring this together. How do these benefits and challenges look in specific ESP fields based on the sources? We touched on legal English.
Yes, for legal English, the research really hammers home the value of AI for that personalized feedback on complex legal vocabulary and improving specific communication skills.
But with caveat.
But with the strong caveat that students still absolutely need to develop their own analytical skills and legal writing abilities. So it's about integration, not substitution. Educators need to design tasks carefully.
Got it. What about engineering? How are AI tools perceived there? In engineering education, the studies suggest students generally find AI tools quite useful for ESP. They see the potential for improving their English, but also their digital skills, which are, increasingly vital in engineering.
Makes sense.
The main challenge highlighted there is, again, responsible use, guiding students to leverage AI effectively for learning support without crossing the line into plagiarism or becoming overly dependent.
Okay. And business English. That's a huge ESP area.
It is. And there, tools like ChatGPT get mentioned a lot for enhancing writing practice and making it more
Like
engaging.
those simulated emails we talked about.
Exactly. Drafting memos, reports, presentations. It allows for practice with instant feedback. But the studies also flag student concerns, actually, about becoming too reliant on AI-generated phrasing and losing their own authentic business voice.
Interesting the students themselves are raising that.
Yes, it shows an awareness of the need for balance.
And finally, English for academic purposes, EAP.
In EAP, the research points to the value of tools like ChatGPT or other AI feedback platforms for getting comprehensive feedback on academic writing structures, argumentation, and also for practicing academic speaking skills.
For presentations or seminars.
Right. But again, the same challenges persist, encouraging ethical use, preventing over-reliance, concerns about data privacy, and the need for institutional guidelines to help navigate all this.
So across the board, it seems like a pattern. Exciting potential, particularly for feedback and engagement, but paired with consistent warnings about over-reliance, ethics, and the need for critical integration.
That sums it up pretty well.
Looking ahead then, what does the research suggest for the future? What are the key takeaways for us as teachers, both practical and maybe theoretical?
A big one is definitely curriculum design and professional development.
How so?
The research really stresses needing to integrate AI tools thoughtfully into ESP curricula. Using approaches like backward design, figure out your learning outcomes first, then see where AI can strategically help achieve them.
Not just adding tech for tech's sake.
Exactly. And alongside that is the absolute need for teacher training, professional development, so educators feel comfortable and competent using these tools effectively.
Knowing their strengths, their limits.
Yes, and knowing how to design tasks that leverage the AI well while mitigating risks like data inaccuracies or, students just passively consuming AI output.
That makes total sense. We need to be equipped ourselves. What else?
Promoting responsible use and ethical considerations remains paramount.
So teaching the students how to use it properly.
Explicitly, yes. As ESP practitioners, the research suggests we have a role in guiding students towards a critical approach, making them aware of plagiarism risks, discussing over-reliance, talking about data security and potential bias in AI. It needs to be part of the conversation.
Not just assuming they know.
Definitely not.
And could AI even help with some of our core teaching tasks, like figuring out what students need or assessing them?
That's another interesting future direction highlighted. AI tools like ChatGPT or specialized assessment platforms could potentially streamline needs analysis. By offering more efficient ways to collect and analyze data on students' current abilities, their specific language needs for their field, and tracking their progress, this could help us tailor instruction even more precisely.
Addressing issues like maybe time constraints and doing detailed needs analysis for every student.
Potentially, yes. And perhaps improving the accuracy or depth of assessment data we can gather. It's an area to watch.
Okay, so let's try to wrap up this deep dive on AI and ESP. The research clearly points to some major potential benefits.
Right, especially around personalized learning paths, that valuable instant feedback, and genuinely boosting student engagement and
Yeah,
motivation.
those seem to be the big wins.
But, and it's a significant but, we absolutely have to be mindful of the
The
challenges.
over-reliance risk standing out.
Definitely. And the crucial need to guide students towards using these powerful tools ethically and responsibly. It really requires a balanced, critical approach from everyone
So
involved.
not just adopting wholesale, but integrating carefully and thoughtfully.
That seems to be the key message coming through.
Which leads us perfectly into our final thought for you, the listener, the ESP teacher. As AI keeps evolving, and it's evolving fast,
It's very fast.
how can we best leverage its power? How do we use it to genuinely enhance our teaching, create richer learning experiences, but do that while also making absolutely sure our students develop those essential critical thinking skills, the independent learning habits, and that ethical awareness they truly need to succeed in their specific fields?
It's probably the central question for ESP educators navigating this AI landscape right now.
Something to really reflect on in your own practice. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.